Winner bracket final. Let's go. The Munchies against the Fighters. Huge semifinal between the Fighters and the KD Agents. And holy hell, what a series. If you haven't watched it yet, make sure that you check it out. We are in the Underdog Cup. We are in the playoffs right now. And whichever team wins this best of 5 series now is going to move on to the grand final. So, Munchies on the left. And yeah, they had a pretty good run too. Now, obviously, we still have a loser bracket, so just because you reach the grand final doesn't really mean anything just yet. But awesome stuff. I mean, we had great games here. The best of 5s that we had were a blast. Heroes that are played can only be played once within the series, so please keep this in mind. And yeah, we're good to go, and this should be a pretty cool series as well. From the performance that we've seen so far from the teams, I would expect quite a bit here. I have to say that the Fighters were underperforming a bit in the previous series, at least initially. They got their act together and towards the middle, and I really think that long series also benefit them a bit because they have players on the lineup that have a lot of experience and also deep hero pools that they can then still use, whereas some of the other teams out of Heroes Launch might not quite have that. But yeah, we'll see. Now, as I said before, this tournament is going to shed a light on the amateur scene. This is all to show you a couple of the teams that are playing within Heroes Lounge. If you don't know them, you should check them out. heroeslounge.gg. You can easily sign up there as a solo player or as a team. Doesn't cost you anything. And believe me, much better than relying on the matchmaking that exists in the actual client. And you're going to have some fun games with like-minded people and who knows, maybe end up in a tournament like this, facing off against the Cho'Gall of the Fighters. Was banned out by the previous opponent time and time again. And now that for once we don't see the ban there, instantly the Fighters are saying like, alright boys, let's go! Double trouble! Cho'Gall time! I like it. That was denied for a long time, now they finally have an opportunity to use it. On Infernal Shrines, with Dehaka, Garrosh and Stukov being played on the other side now. And yeah, let's go. Vala gets banned, and let's have a look on what the final ban from the blue team is in this first game of the best of 5. But yeah, this is going to be fun. By the way, guys, again, if you want to support efforts like hosting this tournament, hosting other tournaments like the Murky Cup, please keep in mind, best way to support the channel is still patreon.com/Khaldor. Huge shout out to all of the supporters over there. If you are thinking about supporting the channel, check it out. And again, would really help a lot, so would appreciate it. But yeah, without all of the support there, hosting stuff like this would basically not really be possible. So yeah, thank you very, very much. Alexstrasza for the big heals after Oriel got banned. Okay. And we got Blaze for the side lane. Cho'Gall should not be able to fit in the bunker, by the way. Clearly too big. Then again, Tigers fits in there with Odin, so there's that. We got Falstad, we got Cassia for Infernal Shrines. That leaves us with a final pick for Itrax. So last but not least, for map number 1 in the best of 5 series here at the winner bracket final. What are we getting from the red team? We started things off with Cho'Gall. We got Alexstrasza, 4 heals after Oriel was eliminated. It was a good ban from the Munchies. Bit more damage would definitely not hurt the team though. And they are going for Gul'dan. There's your AoE damage, of course. With that, we're set for the first map. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fighters against the Munchies on Infernal Shrines. The blue team on the left with Mia on Falstad. Munchies rocking it with Mekako and Stukov. We got a Thunderbear right now with Dehaka, Brahms on Garrosh, and Griffiths going for the stacks with Cassia with Thunderstroke. As over on the right side, we got the Fighters with Itrax on Gul'dan, Aldante with Alexstrasza. I still love that name. Every single time I read that name, I have to think about noodles. We got Akunis on Blaze, and then Machko on Cho, and Shikish on Gal. So, let's go and check out which team takes the lead in the series. I mean, at this point, we have quite a bit of stacking talents, obviously, on both sides. But the main play is going to be Garrosh. Mech Leech. Or Mech Lech. Is Cho'Gall's name here. We had a couple of better ones. Honestly, especially with like Mech. We had so many fun ones. Macless as a new burger on McDonald's, but yeah, this one doesn't really do too much for me, I have to admit. So we'll see how how well this plays out for them. But of course, them getting Cho'Gall in the first place after it was banned out the entire time was already big. This, on the other hand, that side lane flank, and Gul'dan goes down. I could have totally seen them even lock in more kills than only that, but this is first blood for the Munchies. And this is honestly a really, really big step, of course, for both of the teams. If you win this series, it automatically means that you are at a minimum second place in the tournament. So you win here, you move on to the grand final, and you are guaranteed to get some prize money. Now, all the way up at the top, Thunder Bear is already doing his thing. That is, by the way, something I should probably point out. We've talked in the previous match about it, but Thunder Bear is actually a sub player for the team. So, yeah, they play with one sub right now. Cho'Gall, not a good Cho'Gall start if he goes down here, but they are able to get him out of harm's way. That was close though. That was really close. That could have been a kill, and that would have hurt. If you use Cho'Gall early on, that's 2 heroes essentially down. Your team will have to fight him off with only 3, and yeah, never really a good look. So we'll see how this continues, but that one was a little bit too close for comfort. They saved him though. They made it happen. Now we have camps again targeted. Blue team is doing a little bit better on the mercenary camps, but there is pressure in the mid lane, at least against the Munchies. So the fighters are doing okay here. With Cho'Gall is obviously always the same thing. The later in the game you get, the more, like, the stronger he becomes. There's a lot of big tools that he gets, and yeah, even just like Molten Block as a talent to stand out is obviously kind of crazy. Then you talk about level 20 talents, and you have the death time at reduction and some other tools. But just generally as a rule of thumb, the later in the game we go with Cho'Gall, the more of a problem he becomes for the opponent's team. And here there are some tools that can of course be used. I mean, we have potentially Valkyrie coming in, we have Gust, we have Garrosh, so you can isolate Cho'Gall from the rest of the team here quite nicely. And then the question becomes, can Blaze get close and drop a bunker? Can we get the heal from Alexstrasza? So there's definitely a few things to play around with. And for now, the lead on the objective for the red team. I'm quite sure if they can hold on to that now that we are seeing their opponents moving in. But the Munchies are already attempting to close the gap here. Get, for example, also the Haka in the mix, as we can see right now. And the problem with Cho'Gall early on is also simply that you have just 4 heroes in there. Oftentimes you can play around that a little bit and try and get a lead. But at least for now, Cho'Gall is trying to get a few more hits in for the team. We have a level 7 kicking on, so that is a nice talent advantage that all of a sudden the fighters have. And then of course the Dragon Queen transformation that they're using to advantage too. And they pull heavily ahead on the objective. So a good chance for them now to get the first Punisher, which is incidentally also Frozen Punisher, so therefore the strongest one. And the blue team is deciding that they're not fighting against this. They realize that they will lose that battle anyway, so they already started to peel off quickly. Good for them. But they now also have to defend, and that is not going to be easy either. So, yeah, as it stands here, we have lots of damage being done by the team in red. And this is working exceptionally well for them. They are taking the wall down, they're getting some solid damage in on the fort. They can't destroy the entire thing, especially not with Gul'dan and Blaze obviously missing and sitting in the side lane. Well, it was good until this happened. Yeah, I was just about to say, with them taking out the hit points on the fort and pushing the side lane, taking the wall down here, doing damage at the bottom of the map, this would have been a bit of a win. But then, if a moment later, you then lose Cho'Gall, which is your biggest asset and the biggest threat to the opponent, then this very quickly flips. So they might still be ahead in experience for a bit longer. But the blue team moved over, took the camp away from their opponent, so they stole the camp. They're going to take another one at the bottom of the map now, which puts them also way ahead in the mercenary experience, just to start with. And yeah, that was pretty good. So they made the best out of that situation. We have Cassia at 19 stacks, by the way, at the 5-minute mark. More damage at the top. Actually trying to also take those minion waves out a little bit easier. But are we going to see a lick here? Well, doesn't seem like it. Dodges. And Yeah, Falset is even flying up. They're trying to get those kills, but they get the yeah, they get the kill on Gul'dan. Nice. God, they were working so hard to prevent the heroes from falling here, and then this happens. Garrosh is still rotating down to the bottom of the map to attempt and help Cassia because Cho'Gall was now destroying another wall. And a nice little move from Dehaka. But Cho'Gall is dodging everything. Dodging Dehaka's tools, dodging everything that we're getting from Garrosh as well. So, yeah, not bad. We have the quest completed for Alexstrasza, by the way, so we're going to get a lot more globes from her from here on out. Next objective will be at the bottom of the map, and they're all over the place right now. So you have consistently Blaze pushing at the top lane and trying to slowly take that fort out. It's 4 kills, 2-0 though. So on the kill count alone, this is a big advantage right now for the fighters. That's another kill. Alexstrasza is gone. Cho'Gall is trying his best to turn the tides of some of these battles, but it's starting to be a little bit worrisome. It's not really that big of a deal just yet because in experience they haven't pulled ahead all that much. But look at the difference that we have in hero experience and in mercenary experience. That's pretty massive. The red team makes up for it with minion experience. This is really where they are saving themselves right now. But mercenaries and heroes, that is a bit of a disaster for the fighters. If the... I mean, it's a Dehaka team, right? If they would have done better on minions, on the minion experience, the lead for the blue team would be incredible right now. So at this point, they're coming in, take Blaze down, that's another kill. Cho'Gall is also very much isolated, gets gusted over, and could easily fall here. They want that kill. Alexstrasza is a bit far away, but Cho'Gall turns it on Falstad and gets the first kill for the red team. But it doesn't change the fact that Cho'Gall still dies. Cho'Gall is gone. Alexstrasza did neither save Cho'Gall nor Gul'dan and then gets killed too. So didn't use her life binder there at the end. And now the shrine is of course active and will be taken next. Cho'Gall again isolated and killed. By now we have 10 kills to 1 and a full level lead. Bonkers. So the Munchies starting the series off with a lot of aggression, with a lot of kills, and yeah, they are doing a great job on Inferno Shrines. We have now 17,000 damage for Cassia. Gal has 21,000, but again, they are not able to really do anything with it. So, topside, Blaze is pushing against Dehaka. But the main issue is really, first of all, the objective at the bottom of the map, of course, is a problem. The next deal is the level 13 talent, which is problematic. Still, Cho'Gall is moving in here. And I talked about him getting stronger as the game continues. So if they get the level 13 talent in this move, they could do something with this. Blaze is, by the way, still pushing. He applied pressure to the topside fort and pushed minion waves in, and now he's doing the same in the middle. Now he needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught and killed too, but the Arcane Punisher has now been taken at the bottom of the map. And they will bait this over. Oh, there it is. But there's the... Oh my god. Even with the level 13 talent, Cho'Gall gets life biters able to get out, but what a play again by Garrosh. Well done. Gets the vision, gets the control here. Kudos to Alexstrasza, though, being ready immediately for the defense. And they saved their bottom fort. So this was a pretty nice effort. And, by the way, look at the structures on the map. Like, just check out the minimap. This one is on half HP. This one is on half HP. And down at the bottom of the map, the wall's gone. Yes, they are a level behind. Yes, they are 9 kills behind. They are ahead in structures. So they are ahead in structures right now, and this could spell out a bit of a disaster later on. They are struggling in teamfights though, so we'll see how they continue to play this game out. But just on a macro level, this is not a horrible spot to be in. The problem is that one level difference, and this is because of all of the kills that we've seen. I mean, if we look at the experience distribution here again, the difference in hero experience is 6,000. Even the additional minion experience that we're seeing from the fighters is not making up for that. So, we'll see what they can do with this. Gul'dan is, by the way, already done with this quest. That's nice. I mean, he's at level 14 right now. Blue team is hitting 16 in a second. Now, this is obviously where it gets a little bit tricky. Is there enough time for the fighters to get to 16 before the objective is up? Could be. Could just work out for them. Cho'Gall gets attacked again and is able to move back out. And yeah, there's lots of heals coming. But in they go again. They try to go for false start, I suppose. Cho'Gall gets licked. Yeah, and he's dead. Life Fighter was already used, so that cooldown is not available any longer. And Cho'Gall is dead for the 3rd time. Blaze, he's still using the freedom at the top lane because the Haka is always moving down and helping in those fights. They're getting kills out of them, so the Haka abandoning a lane is alright, but they also lose some ground because of it. But of course, more importantly is kill after kill after kill against Cho'Gall. And yeah, I can tell you one thing, if the KD agents are currently watching this, they're gonna be asking themselves, why again did we ban that hero? Why didn't we just let them pick it? Maybe we should have just like tried to kill them with it. So, Fort at the mid lane is nearly gone. Fort at the top, that one is gone for sure now that Gul'dan is saying hello. And they're gonna get level 16 talents. But Alexstrasza, I think, is probably dead. Gets licked, the bunker, and yes, she's gone. Fort in the middle has still been saved. Cho'Gall is now saying hello too, but that might be a bit too much. The shrine is active. They're gonna get level 16, but they're now 2 heroes down again. This is starting to become a little bit annoying, honestly. They're doing a great job taking these forts apart. They are playing around the opponent. It's okay even if they lose a hero every now and then, because the Haka tunnels in, turns it into a numbers advantage, but they push the top lane out, the mid lane out, they get value there. The problem is really that at the crucial moments in the game, they're losing heroes that they are not supposed to lose. And then they can't fight the objective and get further and further pushed behind. So, they have now destroyed 2 forts. The blue team has taken down 1. And yeah, they can now start with that Mortar Punisher to probably take another fort out as well. But the blue team is massively ahead. In experience, 50 stacks for Cassia, which isn't bad either. It's not crazy good. We're 13 minutes in already, so it's not like she's absolutely crushing this, but she also has just a few bodies to work with compared to a normal game. Gul'dan is at 37,000, so good damage output. You can always end the game in the late game, so there's always the danger that Cho'Gall, scales as this all continues, and then they go for the big comeback on the map. So the blue team hasn't won this yet, and they need to be aware of that too. It's nice that you have a lead, but you need to do something with it. And they have a big lead. Nearly a 2-level advantage, so if you can play around that well, you should be able to soon push for some keeps and take those on. Yeah, but beautiful stun from Blaze. They weren't able to get the kill on Garrosh, but that was dangerous. Very dangerous. So the topside fort is now eliminated. We got 14 kills, 2-1. The one thing that I'm a bit worried about for the Munchies is that Cho'Gall makes it to 20. And then works a lot around the death timer. By now, they're looking for kills again. Yeah, there's the lick. And Lifebinder. Horrify got used too. And there's the Lifebinder. And they get a kill. They get Cassia. So Cho'Gall is back in action. Now they get a kill. That allows them to steal a couple of these camps away. That was not really badly done. That was actually pretty good. So Lifebinder being used. 62 stacks now for Cassia. But for now she's gone. She's of course top damage for them. Push at the bottom of the map now as they're trying to take another fort down. And, well, why wouldn't they be able to pull that one off? Can push in with everything that they have here. Garrosh should be a bit cautious because he needs way more than just his own presence here if he wants to push them back. So, fort is gone. Another camp is taken. They closed the gap in experience a little bit. Doesn't change the fact that the blue team is still massively ahead, but hey. One step at a time. Yeah, Cho'Gall's still burning things down a bit. Taking also a few more minions, but they go for the next camp. They have now taken essentially every single mercenary camp that was up on the map at the time when Cassia was killed. Blaze gets the top lane. It's a lot of experience for them. And the advantage has now been reduced to 1 level. 1 single level is all that the Munchies have over the red team. And the objective hasn't been announced yet. Let's not forget that. So, you should be able to get to that point. Unless the Munchies somehow get some kills now. And funnily enough, in structures, the fighters are ahead now. Because, well, there's still a fort in the middle. Yeah, but this is the problem. Oh, bunker. Nice Horrify. Good bunker too. That was actually a neat little save. Need to be very careful with this, but there's a big wave coming through the middle. There's also the bot lane. So, yeah, right now they should get a lot here. Even if they lose the fort, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Would be nice to keep it, of course, because there's a fountain then in the middle. Blaze? Yeah, careful. Maybe not. Yeah, they definitely were talking about this. Like, how about you don't go for that? Because they are gonna try and gank up on you, and that's exactly where they are. So the Haka is already there. Blaze needs to make sure that he does not die. That's the only objective right now. And the gust into the corner. Honestly, that was... Sorry, but that was stupid. If they can get a kill now against Falstad, fantastic. But that was so unnecessary, I don't even know what to say. You played it safe, and then you all of a sudden go off the mount. You see Falstad there, you don't have vision on anybody else, and you let yourself get killed. Shrine is active, and Blaze is down for 40 seconds. That was so unbelievably unnecessary, I don't even know what to say about that. We get Katoon's gift, and we got the shifting nether, so they didn't go for the death timer reduction. But, yeah, that was just so unneeded. There was no reason to do that. Now they have to fight with 4, 3, depending on how you look at it, against 5. The Haka, yeah, did a great job there too. And, well, the blue team has currently the lead. Blaze is back in 13 seconds. So that's the good news. Nice damage also against Falstad, by the way. Falstad gets stunned. Cassia's dead. They're winning this. They don't have Blaze, and they're winning the fight. They are even in points, and they're winning this. This is exactly what I talked about earlier. If you are in a good spot and you dominate your opponent early on, you need to build on those advantages, or you can get punished later. And that's exactly what we're now seeing. Blaze is back, and they're taking the Punisher. Frozen Punisher for the red team. Cho'Gall on 20 is now starting to crush things, and also felt Gul'dan with 65,000 damage, just murdering it. They got the Punisher, they got a full 5-man, and Cassia isn't here. Cassia's the top damage for the blue team, and she's now missing. Punisher gets baited over, they're breaking through the wall, and now they're starting to massively attack this. And the keep is likely gonna fall. So they're pulling farther and farther ahead in this game. The fighters are now ahead. They've been destroyed throughout most of it. It's 15 kills to 3. Still. And it doesn't even matter. They start going for the core. Cassia's back. And they will see if they can maybe get a kill or two here. If that happens, the game's over. But they defend. Shield is not totally destroyed. They're still fine there. But this is where it gets extremely dangerous for the blue team. This is exactly the problem right here. Yeah. Alexstrasza realized that she should probably take a different path. Alright. Yeah, there's massive catapult pressure now through the middle of the map, of course. And they start taking more and more camps. 83 stacks for Cassia. Again, good damage from her, of course. But, no, this is a bit tricky. Look at the... It's always funny because the later in the game you kill a hero, the more experience, of course, that hero gives you because of the increased level. So with only 3 kills, they have a fourth of the experience in hero kills compared to like 5 times more kills for the Munchies. Yeah, next big fight, they go for Cho'Gall again, Gust, and they're able to get away. Molten Core is in, the Haka, there's first of all the ult from Alexstrasza. The Haka was a little bit low and now they're chasing them even further. So yeah, Cho'Gall is on the move. Couldn't get the kill here. And Alexstrasza, she is getting that cooldown back, of course. Yeah. Oh, beautiful! The jet propulsion and the follow-up from Gul'dan. And that's a kill. That's a kill right there. And they're hoping for more. They're looking to get a few more kills. And if they maybe can capitalize on this further. And guess what? Stukov gets caught. Stukov gets killed. That is 2 heroes down and now a chance to go for the core. They're already starting to burn this down. And especially with Gul'dan in the midst, they obviously have tons and tons of damage here. So the defense is setting up everything that they can. Nice damage against Blaze, but he gets saved by Alexstrasza as well. And she has her cooldown back, so she can use it and does immediately on Cho'Gall. The core is already falling. And that's exactly what we talked about earlier. Guys, it's happening. It's actually happening. The fighters are winning the first game of the series. The Munchies with insane kills in the early game, but Cho'Gall too strong. And that is the lead in the best of 5 for the red team. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Tomb of the Spider Queen. The fighters have taken the lead on Infernal Shrines, and the red team has now gone for the map choice, because first pick was declared by the Munchies. So Tomb, the map where the fighters think that they can take the 2-0 advantage now in the game. The comeback on the first map was honestly a little bit bonkers. I mean, good for them, but still, Cho'Gall in the late game is such a menace, it's ridiculous. So early on, big kills from the Munchies, dominating the game, but just not building, not capitalizing enough to the advantage, not building enough on it. So they weren't able to take any keeps out, and all of a sudden, Cho'Gall became stronger and as expected won. I mean, think about this for just a second. They lost Blaze, went into the level 20 versus 20 team fight, and won without Blaze against 5 heroes on the other side. So, totally crazy. And right now, the Munchies, you gotta see how they are bringing this back. 10 heroes were played, cannot be played again. And we start things off with Johanna on Tomb. Fantastic tank, of course, for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Generally, one of the strongest in the game. And on Tomb, the added wave clear is, yeah, just amazing. Also, it's not only Cho'Gall, by the way, in the last map. It's obviously a real centerpiece when it comes to the team composition. But Gul'dan was able to do so much damage in this game. Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, Gul'dan just, like, crushing it. And some decent horrifiers as well, of course. But just the damage output alone was bonkers. Now we got Malfurion and we get Hanzo for the fighters. Anduin on the blue team side, pretty much immediately. Are we gonna get, what are we gonna get to engage with the light bomb? Or do they not care too much about it? I mean, the typical picks, okay, they go for Vala. I was just about to say, the typical picks to try and execute that would be Genji or Tracer. But Vala, auto attack, probably. It's always a little bit difficult to tell when we're talking about the amateur scene. But yeah, Vala can be a huge asset, of course, as well. The one thing that makes me a little bit sad is that we don't really see a multi-shot build a whole lot. And again, just to make this clear, I don't think and I don't want to argue that multi-shot build is like the build to go for, and it's just like stronger, they just don't know how to play it. It's just like, multi-shot build was the OG Vala build, and obviously a lot of talents got changed since then. But it's kind of fun to see it, and we see the arrow build and also an auto attack build quite a lot. So it would be pretty fun to have, for example, yeah, the multi-shot build coming in every now and then. We had it occasionally on Infernal Shrines for a while, so then you had basically all her builds being semi-valid. But, yeah. Here, wave flare is also needed, I just don't think that we're going to get it. Stitches and Leoric. Yeah, together with Malfurion, so Stitches hook into a root. And potentially even a Leo and Tomb. Yeah. That brings us to the final 2 choices for the Munchies. But Nazibra. Alright, so they're going for Nazeebo. That's interesting. Didn't expect that. And we get Sonya. Alright. I guess we're pretty much set up for our second game of the series. Nazibro. That one, again, if he makes it into the late game, great. But wasn't quite what I expected here, at least not in game number 2. Most of a pick that I could have seen later on. But we still need, of course, a little bit more damage for the fighters. And, well, we go all in on Stitches. They get Tassadar for now. A little more wave clear too, in addition to what we get from Leoric. Alright. Tomb of Spider Queen. Second map between the fighters and the Munchies. The opportunity for the blue team to tie their series. We are on Tomb of Spider Queen and we have Mia on Zebo on the left side for the Munchies. And we actually get an a multi-shot build. I was just talking about it and now we actually do get one. I guess they wanted to have the added wave clear here. Griffiths with Vala, Brahms on Johanna. We get Mikaku on Anduin and Thunderbear is playing Sonya. To the right side of the map, we get the fighters with Itrax on Tassadar this time. Aldant on Malfurion. Machko is playing Stitches. We get Akunis on Hanzo and Shikish on Leoric. So, the hook, the wall, the kill. Glorious play by Stitches. That is how you open a game. Look at this one. Here we go. The hook comes in. Bam! They get Anduin. The Crybaby goes down. Gets absolutely hammered into the ground by Tassadar. And now they're trying for... Oh my god. They're going for Nazebo and they drop him as well. That's 2 kills to 0. Oh my... We're not even a minute into the game. That's a double Lauber. Down at the bottom, yeah, Leo against Sonya now. But boy, are we getting some aggressive plays from the red team here in the middle. Now, obviously, fire at will. This is actually going to be pretty big. You get a lot of damage if you just keep stacking that. You can really do well in the later stages. How much, we'll see. But, yeah, definitely an opening that the Munchies did not see coming. That hurt, and it hurt a lot. So, we gotta calm down a little bit and relax here. Dodge some of those Stitches hooks. Great start for Machko on Stitches, just landing them like a boss one after another. Level 1, we get Widowmaker for Nazebo. So, yeah, they're gonna have stacks on him, stacks on the baseline. Baseline stacks, by the way, for Nazebo are currently a little bit poor. That's 6 stacks, that's essentially nothing. So him dying once, of course, slowed this down already. But if you can keep Nazebo low and keep him from stacking reliably, that might actually... That would be pretty impressive. Usually you end up with Nazebo completing his quest if the Nazebo player is doing a good job and diligently farms for the baseline stacks. But right now, that's a little bit low. So if they can target him a bit more, then even the blue team getting to 20 might not be that big of a deal for them, at least initially. But now we also have Arsenal. So Arsenal as the follow-up for the multi-shot build here. A little bit of action happening up at the top. The wall being used again. And I gotta say, Atrax with Tassadar is setting up some amazing walls here. We've seen some really nice plays from him. And first of all, the early kill that we got, that's something where he just absolutely nailed it. But some of the other ones were also quite strong. Not only around hooks from Stitches, but just generally splitting the team up a little bit. Another hook. Go for Nazebo again. The root. And Anduin saves the day. But the pressure is still there. Lots of damage. Lots of damage against the heroes. And you can really tell the pressure is still a big thing right now. Hanzo went maybe a little bit too deep on this. But they're already starting to come in. Oh my god! If Mia didn't try to mount up here, that would have been potentially even a kill on Nazebo. So yeah, it gets dangerous. 48 gems have also been turned in, and now they're delivering the final 2. So this is a Webweaver wave for the red team. Not only did they get their kills and pressure the blue team, but they also were able to turn in their own gems. So good for them. Yeah, dangerous. These guys are extremely dangerous right now. Seems like the previous series woke them up a little bit, and now they are on a total warpath here. The build, by the way, for Tassadar, coming straight in with the Khaldorian Amulet. Resonance Beam, then we continue that with Plasma Shield and with the Arc Discharge. Zebo, well, again low. Yeah, very much so pressuring the Witch Doctor. A lot. Web Weaver's at the bottom of the map and here in the middle. Nazeebo is now moving towards the top side. The good news for the Munchies, of course, that Vala has a lot of AoE clear now too, so she can burn those minion waves down fairly quickly. Completes the level 1 quest as well, but is definitely going to be more aggressive around this. But Anduin gets walked down and killed. Yep, few more stacks now for Vala. Dodges the hook, but they are losing the fort. It's too much damage, too much pressure, so the fort is lost. The lead in experience is widening. At the bottom, the wall has fallen. At the top, more or less the same. But getting 1 fort out of the first objective is already a huge win. No matter how you look at it. Taking a fort down in a situation like this is big. And that's what they did. So the fighters looking strong there. And they take the rest of that wall out as well. Another hook. The root. And this is just the continuous follow-ups from Malfurion. The comp is well thought out. I mean, they're not reinventing the wheel here, of course. But they are playing it very, very crisp. There's hook after hook coming, and you can really tell that for the blue team this is a big deal and a big problem. And now they go for Nazeebo. Nearly got him there. But, yes, Sonya came in, went for the back line, and dropped Tassadar. So finally a point on the board, a kill on the board in favor of the Munchies. That was important. 80 gems in the hands of the blue team. They're trying to turn in at a minimum with the side laner. And this is going to get them very, very close to a first turn-in, if not completed. Leo has a bit more freedom at the bottom of the map because Sonya joined up with the rest of the team to deliver the gems. So he can at least pull that off. But now the Web Weavers are saying hello. Camp is taken in the middle. And yeah, let's go. For now, at least, we have level 10 abilities ready on the red team side, but the blue team is, of course, going to catch up in time for the objective. No surprises here. Malfurion hasn't making a choice yet. Oh, no! Vala! Yeah, I think she's pretty dead. Vala is pretty dead here. Tries to escape, and of course the timing couldn't be any worse. That is exactly as the objective comes down. And, yeah, they can't do a whole lot now. Vala is one of their biggest AoE clears, and so minion waves that are now pushing in or mercenary camps can't as easily be eliminated. The Web Weaver at the top is already gone. Now they're going for the one in the middle. Leo is taking care of the bottom of the map, so this doesn't really look like the Munchies are going to get a lot out of it. Sonya with a leap. I mean, if they somehow can make a play somewhere, then yeah. But Web Weavers are being taken down. Some gems lost. Another hit. Anduin. And this might be another kill. Jojo's trying to create some space. And she gets now targeted. That's 21 gems, by the way, in her hands. Maybe Stitches can hit another hook. Tries, and this time he misses it. He doesn't even have his hook range yet. And he's already such a monster. But this was still, again, the pressure. The pressure that comes from Stitches alone, but from the entire team playing around him, is a bit crazy. They nearly got a kill on Anduin there. Then they targeted Johanna. That nearly worked out too. You look at the damage numbers, and we have 20,000 for Tassadar, top damage in the game. Vala is coming in second place. But everybody else on the red team in particular is also doing really well. Camps are taken all over the place. Second turn-in is coming in now. So they get their second Web Weaver wave. And it all comes as they're getting closer and closer to level 13 talents. Nazeebo has started to speed things up, by the way. Initially, maybe struggling a bit to get the stacks in, but now sitting at 100. They're at level 12 for them, so 100 off to a good... no, it's much better. But yeah, so what are they going to target next with this? Web Weaver's already down at the bottom of the map. Now we get the increased hook range. So that's going to make it mega dangerous. Pressure at the bottom of the map, trying to go for Sonya. Stitches slowly coming in. Alright, there's the wall. Could go for Gorge. And Iron Skin. Last moment. But he was already on the prowl on this. Not a lot of structural damage actually with that objective. They push the lanes out a bit, but they can't quite get there. Blue team is now dodging quite nicely. Has defended against the Web Weavers. Vala's at 32 stacks on her level 1. So she's starting to build more and more damage up here. But needs to still be very careful that that hook is not all of a sudden connecting with her. If it does, she's gone. 13 talents. Any moment now. 83 gems in the hands of the Munchies. Most of them in the hands of Nazeebo. They got a level 13. Leo's still pushing the bottom. And Sonya for a second with 25 gems. Also targeted. We're just simply going to see a Gorge here. Light Bomb, Malfurion, and he's gone. Malfurion is gone, and so is Tassadar. Vala with the multi-shot comes in. Tassadar gets dropped. That's the blue team doing a great job trying to come back into this. Makes it sound a little bit weird when I say trying to come back into this. It's not like they're totally lost here. But they have taken damage on both of the remaining forts. One fort is gone. They haven't been able to do a lot with the gems. Now with the second turn in, they can of course build on that. But yeah, getting kills, getting double kills like this one really helps them. They are much easier able to get their turn in. They are in a much better spot, just like trying to make a couple of plays around the opponent in the mid lane, pushing here for example, maybe see if they can get another kill as well. So yeah, this is just looking way, way better for them all of a sudden. Get a double kill like this and you can pull ahead. Closes the gap in experience a bit of course too. But yeah, fighters could still be dealing with this pretty easily. There is the Nazeebo factor. Late game Nazeebo. They are currently, let's say 5 levels short before they hit 20. 150 stacks for Vala, so she's fine. 150 stacks for Vala would be great. For Nazeebo, Vala sitting at 40. But imagine her for just a second with multi-shot at 150 stacks. That would be pretty neat. Yeah, Nazeebo already with the damage, but it's not enough to get the kill. They might be able, and they are able to take Stitches down though. Yeah, beautiful Entomb, but that doesn't do anything for you. First of all, you have Anduin sitting right there, just pulls the target out. That's the first problem that you have to face off of. And then the second issue is just simply that there was not any damage close by that could have capitalized on the Entomb. The Entomb itself was sexy though. Oh, was well done. So, level 16 is ready. Leo is attacking the bot lane as they're going for the boss. Get now Ysera's gift. Mithril Maze. But it's now the Munchies that are getting more and more control of the game. They're starting to be in the driver's seat with this one. And I am still looking at Nazeebo and him sitting at 160 stacks already. Nazeebo is gonna be a big factor in all of this. 100%. Top side, boss has to of course be defended. So now they're on that. They're gonna take this out. And Leo is still fine at the bottom of the map. We have a blue Webweaver team joining in again. Yeah, that's going to be number 3. So, for now, they lost only one. Oh, the hook! Nice ice block here. Arrow, but it's always Anduin. Always Anduin. And Sonya leaps out. And another hook follows up. I gotta say, some pretty sexy moves there. First, the initial hook and the play around it. Anduin ruins it with another quick pull. Then we have Sonya being caught. She leaps out. So a lot of cooldowns being exchanged here. But yeah, kind of wild. Leo, and he's dead. The Munchies are building up a lot of momentum right now. And this all started with them getting pretty much hammered in the early stages of the game. Especially that first double kill, of course, against them was just bonkers. But the defense in the middle has been set up nicely. And the fighters didn't lose anything. There is still that fort at the bottom of the map that has to be dealt with though. And here I think the blue team might have a little bit more success with their push. This one is already starting to drop a bit lower. A couple of slams coming in. Yeah, Tassadar is just like firing it up now. There's another hook, and this time they catch Anduin. Beautiful hook. They should get the kill here. Light bomb or no, and they do. Sweet. Arrow. Oh, blessed shield to save them. But another hook, and in addition to that, also the Entomb to block the path. So that is the end of Vala now. Yep, that flipped it again. The comeback. Now they can go for the bottom fort and they grab it. So in structures, the teams are even again. The turn-in could happen for the fighters. They have the gems. They could turn them in easily. They want to steal the opponent's camp away first, though. And the entire time, like a Damocles sword, we still have Nazeebo and the potential level 20, of course, looming above all. Not saying that they win the game the second that he hits 20, but it will be another massive, massive problem that the red team would have to deal with. So, they go for the next spot at the top. Machko absolutely killing it on Stitches, by the way. And yeah, in addition to that, we now have also Pulverize. The lead in experience is obviously there for the fighters. They have already taken the lead on this, and it seems like they're going to push for the top lane. Which also has the added advantage, of course, if you ever take the boss, then it will attack through that lane too. Leo is the only one that has split from the team and is now at the bottom of the map, so they're trying to go for the 2 auxiliary lanes at the same time. And Leo pushing the bot lane out quickly is allowing them to get the damage done here. And in the middle we see a similar situation unfold. So the red team is trying to fight here. Whoa! Light Bomb as well. They go for Malfurion and they go for Hanzo. They get both of them. There is the Tacita Archon and the kill against Nazeebo. At least it's a kill for a kill here. But how much damage can now be done? The keep in the middle is taking some damage. Level 20 is available for them. They're doing a bit more damage down at the bottom of the map. But thanks to that triple kill that we just saw from the Munchies, the entire aggression has essentially been shut down. And the guy, it started with Stitches getting a Gorge. But they just ignored him. They were just like, yeah, we don't really care, dude. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, Gorge, fine. We're already in your back line. We're already killing you, so we don't care. 185 stacks for Nazeebo. He gets Vital Infection now. We have Vala on 45,000 damage. The team took the camp, and they are able to get away from this. Nice. Well, I'm not so sure anymore that they are. The Helping Hand! Is that enough? Austin's Renewal? Leap! Go! Not like this. Oh, and then fucking Anduin again. Get. What is happening here? Insane! No way! No way! What a play! First the Helping Hand, then the leap that misses, the Gorge afterwards. They pull them over. Anduin saves them, and then he becomes the target. What is happening there? That was that was crazy. It really was. Nazeebo has Vital Infection now. The keep at the bottom is gonna fall. And I just can't believe this happened. Anduin gone, and also Jojo. Now, Vala and Nazeebo are both alive. I don't know if they can go for the core. They got Siege Steins. That's actually huge. So the core is losing hit points. But that's also a lot of damage in that just a second there. There, they get the Entomb. And Vala is dead. Vala is dead. The core at 94%. In comes Sonya, kind of trapping herself here, if anything. And Leo is going to die to the spiders. Yeah, Leo is about to go down. Die to the spiders. The core is at 79%. They get Anduin. And Tacita is dead too. I'm telling you, Nazeebo's damage is at this point out of control. If you don't go straight up for the core, you're going to take damage and you're going to take a lot of it. So they're starting to retreat here. And it costs Hanzo his life too. 60% on the core is where we got. And Nazeebo is nearly caught up with Vala on the damage. And now they're going to the top lane to try and take that boss. So yeah, that's the problem right there. One survivor is all that they have. And that boss is easily taken by Nazeebo now. It's a bit wild. The damage dealers were all still there. That's the problem. You kill 2 key heroes, that's definitely true, but still. I don't know what they can do here. They're trying to prevent this. There's the Entomb. But Leo is just going to die again. Leo is going to die here. That, yeah, like, why? They actually... Can they? Well, the boss... Okay, it reset it a little bit. But they're still going to take it. Maybe Stitches gets a hook. If he gets a hook, then they can maybe do something here. And he kills Jojo with it. Oh my god. The arrow and Nazebo gets saved. Another hook and Anduin. They get Anduin. He gobbles up half of them here. And they're killing. It's a triple kill. They don't care about the boss. They get another hook. It's a 5-man team wipe. Guys, what is going on? What is happening here? He eats all of them. What an insane series. The boss is at the top right now and is attacking, but it doesn't matter anymore. Nazebo has, by the way, out-damaged everyone by now, but it's still a win. 31 kills and the fighters take the game. They win to the Spider Queen. Coming up next, we have the third map of the series. If you guys enjoy the content, also consider to head over to patreon.com/Khaldor. Support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene alive there. It's the best way to support the channel. Huge shout out to everybody that is already a supporter. You guys are really helping to keep this alive, and you help us to host event after event for the game here. Especially after Blizzard abandoning this already 7 years ago. It's absolutely fantastic that we're still able to do this here. So big shout out to all of the supporters. And again, if you enjoy the coverage, if you would like to support us, head over there and check it out. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the next game. Well, that was a crazy one. I still don't know what happened on Tomb of the Spider Queen, I'm not gonna lie. First we had the battle at the bottom where it was a helping hand on Leo, then Sonya leaps, misses the target, gets gorged up, brought behind the wall, Anduin saves her, gets hooked, ends up in the tower range. They try to end the game, that fails, they go for the boss, and then Leo delays it a little bit. Stitches kills Johanna with a hook. And it's just absolute bonkers. So, yeah, the game went crazy the last couple of minutes. Absolutely crazy. And the fighters took it. The fighters were able to win it. The entire series has been just back and forth the entire time. And it's been a blast. So, awesome games. Lots of fun. Now we're going into Cursed Hollow. There's obviously a chance now for the red team to win the series and make it to the grand final. Send the Munchies into the losers bracket. So this could end here. We'll see. Chromie gets picked first. 20 heroes have been played and cannot be played again, as the red team locks in Rhaegar and Imperius. But it's highly entertaining. The Cho'Gall game on Infernal Shrines was obviously awesome. And now we had this. Like, sometimes you just sit there and you're like, what is going on? So yeah, good stuff. And obviously you also had, like, Stitches got very hungry towards the end and they just went for a full team wipe. Despite the fact that Nazebo exploded in damage. He was behind Vala initially when he picked Vala Infection, and I think at the end he was 20,000 damage ahead of her. So yeah, totally crazy. Now, we get Chromie, we have Diablo, and we get Uther. We are on Cursed Hollow as our next map. Illidan got banned again. It's the first map actually. On the big maps, I guess they want to try and get rid of Illidan. Now they ban Urel out here. They don't want that Diablo and Urel combo. So, yeah. I am interested to see what the final picks are, because I could totally see that there's going to be another curveball that happens. Maybe through the fighters here. So, in comes Arthur's, and we get Greymane. Alright, so, Arthur's. It's going to be quite a bit of fun here as he tries to control all of this. Probably going to be Syndragosa again. We get Greymane targeting Diablo a bit at the front. The Wolf Pack, Rhaegar and Greymane, going for the mercenary camps of course as well. On the final two picks now from the Munchies. They still need a side laner. They already know what they're up against. But who are they putting into play to deal with it? Well, Zul and Sylvanas. We have seen a fair amount of Zul in this tournament, I have to admit. Not crazy much, but there were quite a few Zul picks. And Sylvanas obviously is always nice, but here comes Zeratul. Alright, we're getting more aggression, more action. Cursed Hollow, everybody. Match point number 1 for the fighters as they go once again up against the Munchies. Match point number 1 for the fighters. They had a long day today. And I think it's fair to say that throughout the evening they got stronger and stronger and stronger. The Munchies are trying to deal with it, of course, and now we have them with Uther on Mekaku. We got Thunderbear on Diablo, Mia on Chromie, Brahms is playing Zul, and we have Griffiths on Sylvanas. On the right side, it is the red team with Itrax on Greymane. We got Arcunis on Zeratul, so this should be a fun one as well. Shadowhunter on level 1. Machko is playing Arthas. We got Shikish on Imperius, and Al Dante with Rhaegar. So, they're already splitting pretty aggressively on the map here. But here's a little trap, and Zul makes it. He's actually trying to turn it, and I guess they're going to get the kill on Imperius here. Oh, well, maybe not. Imperius tries to escape and is able to get out. Arthas was moving in, connects a Howling Blast, went for the quest talent on level 1. So they were able to move away. But I like the initial trap that they set up here against Zul. And then, of course, also the damage that they were trying to get in at the same time. So now we have topside Zeratul just playing this out a little bit. Down at the bottom of the map, it's currently Greymane who's trying to run the show against Sylvanas. Just starts in, out, and they get a kill. Zul gets ganked up at the top lane and gets eliminated. Zeratul with the final hit, so already 1 kill to 0 for the fighters. This is an aggressive lineup. It really is. Arthas with Howling Blast, with his aura, and then also the connect that we're getting from Imperius. And there they are again. Yep, they connect the CC, and they take Diablo out. Yeah, well, so much for that. Maybe a bit over-eager. I like the aggression. I like the Howling Blast into Impale combo, getting the stun out, but I think Imperius was a little bit too eager there. He's just like, Sudoku! Jumps on the other side and then goes down. Honorable Subaru. So, we got level 4 talents coming in. I mean, again, he died. It's a little bit funny, but at the same time, of course, the thing to walk away with here is that they are being very aggressive on the map, and they're currently doing a lot to get these kills. So here is already another attempt to go for Zul. This backfired a little bit because they both missed their abilities here. We had the Howling Blast being dodged by Zul, and then shortly after he was also able to get away without getting hit by the lunge from Imperius. So yeah, good for him. Good for Zul making that work, but it's this aggression that could potentially cause big problems for the blue team if it continues to yield dividends here. There are still camps that have been picked up by the Munchies, so this is a bit of an edge that they have. First objective is now up the curse. Well, the tribute. Oh, Greymane. Yeah, getting that one a bit close. I have no idea why Greymane even stayed still here. So, like, at this point, you're just asking for a dude. Waiting for the cooldown, I suppose. Rhaegar's coming in for heal too, but still, that was a bit too much. He was down to what? 21 hit points? Not sure if that was needed. Tribute is up. Are they going to get that one for free? It seems like they might. Zeratul says hello, and okay, he gets the interrupt. So Zeratul with a bit of damage. Arthas, yeah, also needs to be careful. I mean, Arthas is obviously such a monster when it's just about zone control. He doesn't have a lot of escape tools or gap closers outside of maybe using Howling Blast, but he can be a real menace. Not if he gets pushed into tower range, though. Then again, we got the tribute. So he basically did his job here. He got killed, which is a bit annoying, but still, he was able to create the space so that they can make this happen. And now they're turning it on Diablo and they get a counter kill, so this is solid. They are able to get a kill for a kill, they got the tribute as well. Yeah, it's a good start into this. But now we also have the Icebound Fortitude. Arthur's at 33 stacks on his level 4, going full into the Frozen Tempest there. And that will make him an absolute monster in late game fights when he has a synergy with a level 16 talent, when the level 4 quest is completed. On top of that, we have also Rhaegar with a totem build that on 16 is going to get even more CC for them. So they have a lot of tools on this that they can use as the game continues to just simply control big team fights and shut opponents down completely. They're trying to go for Sylvanas again. Yeah. Let's attack quickly. It's a little bit of a bait play though, but not falling for it. Or, well, There's the Howling Blast, and Sylvanas is trying to jump away and is able to escape. But those are the moments, you know, where they're dropping low in HP, where they're getting quite a bit scared, and have to then retreat. 3 kills to 2, both teams aiming for level 9. We got the tribute up, and can they take it? Zeratul is a little bit longer up at the top lane and completes his quest before he joins the fight. So now he's done with Shadowhunter on level 1. They go for Diablo again. He's low, makes it, but can he survive through all of it? And the answer is yes! Greymane doesn't though. And Diablo might actually be destroyed too. Chromie with the damage. Oh, she survives! And they kill Arthas. Zeratul is... Oi, oi, oi. Nice! The Juke Master 2000. The blue team picks up the tribute, but that was some sexy Zeratul dodges. Dodges the Scythe, dodges Diablo's abilities, all the stuff that could reveal him, and he's able to get out. Just to be killed at the bot lane by Zul. No, come on! Dude! He tried to stay there with no hit points again, didn't he? That's exactly what happened. He must have stayed down there with basically 0 hit points, and that was the end of it. We got level 10 abilities and a full 1 level lead now for the Munchies. That should also lead to some, I think, boss plays pretty soon. Are they going for it? I suppose they are, and they also want to go for the tribute. It's going to be the next one for the... Ooh, Bloodlust. I can't help myself, but... yeah, if you go Bloodlust, can they make that work? Most of the time when I see Bloodlust, the team just absolutely falls apart around it. 9 out of 10 times, I feel. But we'll see. Maybe they can make a move with it. Zeratul is currently on the way. Tribute, it would be tribute number 2. There's Syndragosa, controlling the choke point. Bloodlust, Divine Shield, and here's the Poison Over from Zul. And they are all dropping low. They go for Diablo and they get the kill. Can they kill more though? Because everybody is so close to dying. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Look how low these guys are. It's a 5 versus 4. But yeah, Zeratul comes in, gets stunned, and dies. Greymane is dead a second later. And that's going to be the end of Rhaegar. So yeah, congratulations. You killed Diablo and then you all died, with the exception of Arthas. And that's now 9 kills to 4. And level 13 is basically there. They get the tribute. So that did nothing for them at all. That's the problem when you don't have any big heals. So with the help of Bloodlust, they picked up a kill. But you have a Poison Over against you and all that AoE damage. And then of course the on-point target damage that we get from Chromie. So that is the boss taken at the bottom of the map. 20,000 damage from Chromie. And since they themselves did not take the boss topside, this could be an easy double boss play now for the Munchies. And of course on top of that they have a level 13 talent advantage now. Yeah. But here they are. Yeah, that's the move straight in for the second boss. The one at the bottom is currently being defended. I mean, the red team thought after they had a 5 versus 4 advantage that they were able to take the fight and kill a couple of heroes before they died. But yeah, they were just too low. You can always make, of course, the argument if Uther does not get the stun, then Zeratul gets damage out and they might be able to get a kill. But obviously Uther is waiting for Zeratul to appear here. It's his job at that point in time. And this could now be a curse. Boss is traveling through the top lane. The fort is already gone. Zeratul is dead. And this is not looking good. If they can move in and get some kills, I think at this point they are, yeah, pretty well aware this game might just fall apart. They're making risky plays. Way more risk. Oh my god, he didn't even go over the wall there. They're making a lot more risky plays than they should. I honestly think that at this point they just accepted that the game is completely falling apart and they don't want to... I mean, it's a little bit tough to tell, honestly. I don't really want to say anything like too stupid, but at this point it really feels like they're just accepting their fate. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it certainly seems like they were making very risky moves because they just said, guys, let's try and make this happen. If we are falling farther behind, then this is just game. So now they come in with Bloodlust. It's 12 kills to 4, but obviously this is a play for the core. They kill Chromie. They are able to kill Sylvanas. Zeratul gets killed again, and the core is also losing hit points. Uther is still chomping away. Yeah, Uther is actually the only one. Everybody else has already moved back out, and he's the only one that's like, team, we got this. He believed. Uther is a believer. Everybody else didn't. So now they're at 65% on the core. It seemed for a moment, it seemed for a little bit as if the fighters were just saying like, alright, GG, go next. But now that they got a couple of kills and a bit of experience back, I mean, who knows? They've lost one keep. They also haven't taken a single fort out on the opponent's side yet, and the problem is the level 16 talent in just a moment. Can they bridge that? I mean, if they get a curse, then they maybe can turn the game around. The thing is, it's really hard to count them out after the last 2 games. Like, after the last 2 games, would you actually bet against them? Because they looked crazy. They looked absolutely crazy. They came back twice in situations where I probably wouldn't have bet a cent on them. So, they're closing in on level 16 talents. They get the gang together. Yeah, they want, of course, a little trap. Syndragosa comes. That's the chance. They go into the back line, and the Divine Shield saves Sylvanas, but it also means they lose Chromie. They lose Chromie. There comes the big Poison Nova attempt again, as Zul gets attacked. Zul is about to fall, and they're also going for Diablo. 2 heroes are already down. Diablo is going to fall as well. That's a triple. They get the triple kill. And while every single lane gets heavily pressured by catapults and by camps now, at the bottom of the map they're able to take a fort out. Boss is back... well, it's a minute. Boss back up in a minute. But now we have 10 kills to 13. Zeratul is dealing with the waves as best as he can, and it's going to lock in a lot of experience for them too. But this is exactly the kind of play that I expect in this series now from the fighters. It's exactly what I expect. I mean, seriously. They've been doing this all day long. Get destroyed in the early game, look like you're losing the game, and all of a sudden you're winning a couple of team fights and you're back to business and you're pushing your opponent back. I mean, it's level 17 that they're running here now. They have a lead in experience. They have a lead in experience. They're ahead in hero XP, they're ahead in minion XP as usual, and passive experience will at some point catch up a bit. So they take the catapults out. There is a free tribute at the top, which they have let slide. So yeah, not going for the tribute, but they could go for the boss at the bottom of the map soon. That one is popping up in a few seconds. But they're just trying to set more traps. Yeah, Howling Blast, and okay, they missed it. They've been trying these traps all game long. And some of them absolutely work out. I mean, they had some traps that worked so extremely well that they just absolutely demolished the opponent. But, well, for now we got another tribute spawning at the bottom of the map. There's the bullet. Diablo went in. That was maybe a mistake. He gets the Divine Shield. There's the barbecue. Bloodlust gets used. And, yeah, they're moving back out. I still claim kinda that Ancestral would have been better for them. I'm not sure if Bloodlust really gave them the value throughout the course of this game that they wanted. But they come in again. Yeah, Diablo bullies them a little bit. Arthas, okay, gets another Howling Blast. They go for Diablo. He's low, and he dies. But Zeratul did die too. They are... the boss stun actually came in. But there's the Howling Blast. Chromie dead. And they go for Zul again. They're getting those kills. They're getting those bloody kills. There's catapults on the core soon, but now they can get the tribute, and I guess they could go for the boss, and they do. Arthas has been sent back. It's wild. It's honestly wild. The choke point there, and Arthas' control is crazy if you think about it. I mean, Arthas set up so many kills for them now, and even in the last fight, his Howling Blast was the deciding factor in all of this. They are level ahead over the opponent now. And they are able to... Greyman gets stunned. But they take the boss. The rest of the team moved out, and Greyman was just like, if we all keep attacking, we kill it. And they're like, yeah, sure, let's keep all attacking it. And they just all moved out, and he got stunned. So, yeah, it's getting a bit crazy here. There's still a boss up at the top lane. They have some vision now at the bottom of the map, and once that Diablo appears, I guess Arthas is soon going to make a move for it, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So they go for the double boss play. There's the tribute in a couple of seconds. If they get the curse now against the blue team, the Munchies might be in a world of pain here. Right now, the Munchies still have 2 forts. They're going to lose the top fort to the boss, I guess. It's now 15 minutes in. That's something that the boss should be able to do. But, yeah, level 20 talents already. That gives us absolute 0 to make matters worse for them. Shadow Strike, we got Tooth and Claw. And, on top of that, Rhaegar upgraded Bloodlust. So, that's pretty big too. There's the curse, and now they need to try and take a couple of structures out. And obviously, maximize the amount of damage that they do while the opponent doesn't have level 20. And just look where the blue team is. Defending the fort? Are you joking? They have 0 interest in that. None. None whatsoever. They're talking keeps here. That's all that they're interested in. In the middle? Yeah, well, this is also going to push for the fort. If it can take it out or not, that's a different question. But they're now trying to get the damage and on the other side. Zeratul jumps over, says hello real quickly. Yeah, they're starting to take this. They get good damage in on this. Still a level missing for the blue team. The wall is about to be dropped, and then they got vision. 40,000 damage for Greymane. 40,000 for Chromie. They want that keep. Absolute 0. They go in deep, trying to go for Chromie. Ult from Zul, pushing them back, but the keep is about to fall. They're gonna try and go for the game, aren't they? Oh, of course they are. Why am I even asking such a dumb question? Ah, they move back. They move back. Okay. They're not overdoing it here. They're going to get the fort in the middle. And right now, the teams are dead even in structures. Ah, well, I guess the bot lane is a little bit advantageous for the fighters as well, because they got damage on the keep and the wall was destroyed. The difference is, of course, the hit points on the core. And I should probably point this out again, because I'm not quite sure if you guys remember. But the blue team was actually on the core of the fighters. The core is down at 65%, and you can make an argument that if they would have committed more heroes to it, I don't think they could have ended, but maybe they could have gotten it a little bit lower and allowed for backdoor territory. Also, the 20 for Uther, he went into the Bulwark of Light now. Yeah, that could get interesting around Arthas and his ult attempts. But it's a wild game. This is an insane series. It's an absolutely crazy series. Guys, if you watch this on YouTube, give that thing a thumbs up. If any series deserves it, then it's probably this one. Sub to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and make sure that you hit that thumbs up. Right now, they nearly get a kill on Diablo, who's barely able to Hellgate out of this. Arthas has 3 seconds until he has his ult, or he would have used it already. Could use it now. Might still decide to, and no. Top keep is obviously already gone, but they can now go for the Siege Giants. Crazy stuff. Well, by now we have the next tributes. Tributes are not going to play the biggest role right now. Well, we're at 18 minutes in. I mean, if you get a free one, then you're obviously going to claim it. The blue team cannot go in here. If they funnel in here, Arthur's just going to say hello quickly. Yeah, they double check this. Bloodlust then would also be epic. Yeah, there's the Howling Blast first. Just slows them down a little bit, but he could go for an ult in that corridor. Bullet's already out. There it is. Gets the ult out. There's Bloodlust. They get the big Howling Blast. That's what the Bulwark is for. Right there. Uther gets it. Diablo with the ult. Look how quickly they die. 2 down. They're going for 3. They're going for 4. Zul is dead and only Uther is still in play. Who gives a shit about Uther? They're going for the core here. Look at this. They are all popping. It's crazy. And the fighters are moving towards the core. They are actually pulling this off. Ridiculous. 31 kills once again. What an insane performance here by the fighters. They move on to the grand final of the tournament. And the Munchies have to fight now through the losers bracket. 5-man team wipe and a big 3-0 victory for the red team. GG.